The Democrats are definitely going to replace Joe Biden, right?
United States, Joe Biden.
Folks, how are you? Great to be here. Thank you.
So when I was watching this debate, and perhaps other people had this thought as well, just Joe Biden walking onto the stage there, I kind of thought, oh my goodness, this might already be over. Just kind of mumbling, hello, good to be here, whatever he said, but did not look natural right out of the gate. And if there was any doubt, it didn't take very long for Joe Biden to start looking very uncomfortable.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
So look, I'm not making this video to try to be particularly mean to Joe Biden. It's just, as a viewer, what I saw. And by the way, it's what a lot of people saw, including Democrats, which I'll get to in a second here. But this video, this debate shown, no one can say this is out of context. No one can say this, like I think of the term cheap fake they're using now. Nobody can say that this is deceptively edited. This was a live debate that happened for about an hour and a half between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, where the entire world could see, are these two men up to the job of, in theory, what probably should be the most difficult job, if not the most difficult, one of the most difficult jobs in the entire world, President of the United States, leader of the free world. Looking at these clips, does it look like to you that Joe Biden is up to that job right now?
What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened, I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. It's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
And if you didn't even listen to the debate, if you just watched the debate on mute, Joe Biden just looks like an old guy. And there's nothing wrong with that. He just looks old. And I'm going to inject some humor into this from my favorite comedian, a guy named Don Rickles, who had a joke about when you're old, you got to keep your mouth closed.
You know, hey, I'm no kid, but I can tell when you're older than me. They can't close their mouth. That's the first sign it's over. Listen to me, dog. It's your husband. First sign. You wake up in the morning, he's laying in bed going, hey.
So watching these clips, when Joe Biden's not speaking, doesn't appear to be completely alert. A lot of Democrats are saying that he had a poor performance, which I'll get to in a second, but watch these clips.
From mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now, all terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere. Almost every police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump. Almost every police group. And what he's done to the black population is horrible, including the fact that for 10 years he called them super predators. We can't, in the 1990s, we can't forget that. Super predators was his name, and he called it to them for 10, and they've taken great offense at it, and now they see it happening.
So there's Joe Biden speaking, or Joe Biden standing on stage listening, or just waiting for his turn to speak. A lot of people are questioning his performance, including a lot of people apparently in his own party. Here's Chuck Todd of NBC saying just that.
Tom, I've been talking to a lot of leaders in the Democratic Party, electeds, coalition leaders. There's a full-on panic about this performance. Not like, oh, this is recoverable. It is more of a, okay, he's got to step aside. There's a lot of that chatter.
So CNN did interview Kamala Harris, current vice president, following the Trump and Biden debate. Kamala Harris presumably has to be on a short list of potential candidates if the Democratic Party or Joe Biden, or however this works, tries to swap in somebody else. Here's Kamala Harris actually defending Joe Biden's position, which is quite funny because I'll play a clip right after, totally debunking it.
Some within your own party are wondering if President Biden should even step aside. What do you say to that?
Listen, first of all, what we saw tonight is the president making a very clear contrast with Donald Trump on all of the issues that matter to the American people. Yes, there was a slow start, but it was a strong finish.
Really, Joe Biden had a strong finish because I'm going to play a clip here from Joe Biden's closing remarks You tell me if this is a strong finish. Perhaps in like the middle of the debate, there were less like blatant gaffes, but is this strong finish line going to be the Kamala Harris's or the Joe Biden's campaign attempt to spin this to be like, oh, well, he was a little bad at the beginning and then he was strong at the end? Because, I mean, millions of people watch this debate. We all saw it. And here's Joe Biden, a little segment of his closing remarks. Is this a strong finish?
What I did when, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. Well, guess what? We got it down to $35 for insulin instead of $400. No more than $2,000 for every senior, no matter how much prescription they need.
Now, in summary, again, as I mentioned, I'm not trying to be particularly like mean or nasty to Joe Biden. That's not the purpose of this. This is what happened. It's what millions of people saw. It's, again, what people even in the Democratic Party are saying apparently behind closed doors, according to people like Anderson Cooper and Chuck Todd, that a lot of Democrats are not thrilled with this debate performance by Joe Biden. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in like the weeks and months to come. I know some people have floated the idea of a Gavin Newsom coming on to like the presidential ticket. Michelle Obama, I've heard her name mentioned. Obviously, Kamala Harris, too, has to be on the short list. She's the current vice president. So, I mean, or maybe just Democrats behind the scenes realize, or they think, we have to run Joe Biden. This is our guy right now. He's the current president. And we just have to stick with this candidate. I don't know exactly what the discussion or the thought process will be behind the scenes, but it's still only the end of June. The election's not till November. It'll be, I think, very interesting to see what happens in the coming weeks and the coming months with this situation and just with the election in general. As, I mean, now the first debate's over, it seems like it's getting a lot closer. I know this is like an early debate, but I think the election season is definitely being ramped up right now. And as I said, it'll be interesting to watch. So with that said, thank you for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a good day.